Anyways, it's no, how did that saying go? It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And in our society, this whole world really is mentally ill. And not only is, human behavior and primitive ways of thinking kind of lead to destruction and chaos and everything else, it leads to mental illness, which we have seen so much in the recent years. And until people realize there's been a very well organized, well funded war on human consciousness and human spirit, and the implications of that, there's really not a whole lot that can be really done. We're just going to be people will just be continuously chasing their tail, so to speak. And go ahead, pause. And so anyways, there's a lot of health coaches and people out there that are trying to start their own business and so on and so forth, and that's all well and good, but they're doing so from a their cup's half full kind of thing, and can't really be of service to other people unless you're firing off on all cylinders, and most people aren't. Most people are calcified pineal gland, constantly stressed. They're in an incoherent, disharmonious state. People are they're so heavily programmed that unless a person has taken years to deprogram themselves, or they just grew up with parents and a family that was smart enough to not get involved in it, then I would say probably the majority of people out there are going to have to go through extensive deprogramming to get out of the mind matrix. And yesterday I made a video that was basically talking about I was talking about mental health issues, and then sure enough I had to stop the video because here's a girl having a mental health issue, and she was dancing on the outside of her car, but also doing so in a very loud and vulgar way, listening to some garbage music. And I just walked by and I said a prayer for her, and I was as soon as I walked by, she started quieting down. And, this is multiple people have been walking by her, and so she finally started to quiet down, because whereas before I had my spiritual awakening, developed compassion for myself and others, I would have been judgmental. I would have just been casting judgment, and that's what most people do. They kind of look at this person what the fuck, what the hell. And understandably so. It's behavior's pretty far out there, but it's a cry for help. And we as a society don't even know how to help others, because we haven't really been able to help ourselves. And anyways, when you can genuinely, honestly, send a prayer of compassion and love and empathy towards a person, and say, "Dear Spirit, will you please help this person with whatever they're going through right now," then it makes a difference. And before and for me, man, it's been quite the journey. because people, it's just, I don't know. I was born into a family with mental illness, into a society with full of mental illness, and